Peter Gerson. Game 2, day 1 of the opening stretch of play here at Adidas Gauntlet 2018. It'll be Dream Vision in the white jerseys, white numbers in the blue trim, taking on, it'll be Dream Vision blue jerseys, blue numbers in the white trim, taking on Pump and Run in the white jerseys, blue numbers in the white trim, and I would try to fix that again, but once again we messed that up. It is Dream Vision in the white jerseys, white numbers in the blue trim, and the Pump and Run in the blue jerseys, blue numbers in the white trim. Has 2 missed shots early. Dream Vision right out of the gate. It's a turnover fest once again. We bring in Peter Gerson in the stretch. It's kind of like where you're playing a game of 2K and the jerseys are too close alike, so you have to go back to the menu and change.
I was going to say it's
too close.
Almost like the alternate jerseys for each team,
right,
but
exactly.
Just for clarification, Dream Vision in white, Pump and Run in blue. Let's just keep it at that.
Exactly. 3 in the air, left side is knocked in cleanly right there for Pump and Run as Ethan Anderson hits that triple. 3-0 here early.
Number 2 16-minute halves here in the Gauntlet series, a 3-minute halftime. Each player gets up to 6 personal fouls. Each team gets 4 timeouts.
And there were questions from the Compton Magic in our previous broadcast as to whether or not the Panthers had exceeded 4 timeouts a couple of times. But to see how well we keep an eye on that, as it's an offensive foul called away from the ball, a moving screen, I believe. That personal will go against. Looks like they're going to call it against Shang-Chi Lee, the 6'11" center in the 2019 class. So Dream Vision will control. And they turn it over. Now here comes Pump and Run. Up the break. Working to the rim. Another loose ball as bodies continue to fall everywhere. I don't think there's been a single possession in this opening stages of this game where there hasn't been someone that's hit the deck.
Yeah, that was Kyree Walker there for Dream Vision hitting the deck on that take. 3-0 here in the early going in the favor of Pump and Run. 14:22 left here in the first half.
Kyree Walker will walk it up the floor. He's ranked number 8 in the class of 2020 by Rivals, and he'll hand over to Kyman. Jake feeds. They'll find Walker. He tried to save it. Indeed, he did. Finds his man down low. A lot of contact. They no call it. Let him play on. And it might have been an offensive foul on Pump and Run. No, instead they'll say it was a blocking foul. So Pump and Run will retain possession, but it'll be the first foul, or second foul of the ball game, I should say, by Dream Vision.
Yeah, I think that one was on Jake Kyman. 6'7" small forward, 2019 graduate years, ranked number 30th recruit total in California out of Rancho Santa Maria Catholic High School.
Anderson sees some space.
Use it.
Now he's in a trap. Feeds to Lee. Lee going to work. Tries to get up and under. Tough shot. He got it to go. What a move by the big man. I thought that was ending on a train off the rails, but instead he kept his poise and he got that shot to fall down to make it 5-0. Dream Vision trying to answer. Drawing contact there with Jonathan Salazar. And it'll lead to 2 free throws upcoming for him.
Yeah, Salazar, a 6'7" forward out of St. John Bosco High School here in California. Makes the first free throw, so finally Dream Vision is on the board, trailing at 5-1 here with 13:28 left in the first half.
One more upcoming for Salazar. Splits the pair, and indeed it will remain 5-1. Anderson will walk into the floor. He's got the only triple the ball game by either team. He'll hand it off. Into the corner. That shot rattles out. Rebound. Fought for. Who's it last off of? They'll say it'll stay on this end. Last off of Jake Kyman.
Went right off a Washington State coach in attendance, Jimmy.
You got to be careful regardless of where you are. If you're a broadcaster, if you're a fan, if you're a scout, or if you're a coach, you have to be aware of your surroundings at all times. As a turnover made by Dream Vision, they were not aware of their surroundings that time, and it'll send it right back to Pump and Run. Anderson receives some direction. He'll operate the controls. Pressured by Crockerell II. He'll hand it off. Over to Max, who misfires on that one. And now up the floor comes Dream Vision. A little pump fake action. Throws it up there and puts it in. Count it for Pierre Crockrell, the second. He gets his first basket of the night. It's 5-3. Lee misfired on his jump hook. Hitting the deck and saving it for Dream Vision with Salazar. And they'll run up the floor. Salazar gives over to Walker. Walker around a screen. Kyree dribbles. Bounces. Salazar, layup up and in. He's got a basket on his resume for the evening, and we're all knotted up at 5 apiece.
Yeah, Salazar with 3 points now. A nice take there in the finishing. The under scoop left-hand finish to tie it all up at 5 after that early 5-0 lead to start things off.
Anderson kicks over to Agbong Polo. Now feeds in the corner to Owens. Or excuse me, Hansik rather. That shot's wild. Rebound taken by Dream Vision. Up the floor they go. To the rim, laying it up and in off the glass like a gentleman is Kyree Walker. The lead for the first time is held by Dream Vision, 7-5. We approach the 11.5 mark of this first half.
Kyree Walker just sprinting up right there for that layup.
And a steal up the floor. A slam with 2 hands in the fast break there by Dream Vision. They're on a little bit of a run. Brian Washington, the second, slams it home, and Pump and Run needs a timeout. 11:24 to go in this first half. 9-5 the score. Dream Vision riding a run. They've, at the very least, put themselves on a 4-0 run at minimum as they continue to fight back here in the early going. We'll stay here. Jimmy Cook alongside Peter Gearson. So pleased you've chosen to spend part of your weekend with us here on Adidas Gauntlet Series. You may have been joining us from the early going this afternoon, where we have been running 4 concurrent locations of regional action here in the Gauntlet Series. The first time ever we've had such coverage in our other sites across the good old US of A, Indianapolis, Washington, D.C., Dallas, and right here in lovely Los Angeles.
Yeah, a ton of action going on, Jimmy, and we had a great game. If you guys could tune in the first one, in the Compton Magic and the Bradley Panthers, and Magic pulled that one out. One of the most talented teams here in attendance, but
and not just that, as you mentioned, you talk about the Magic, as most do, with the reverence of the fact that they're one of the best teams on all the Gauntlet. And to your point, that was a much closer ball game than many would have expected going in. The Northwest Panthers showing why they may be a force to be reckoned with here in LA. As out of the timeout, Pump and Run will look to stop the wrong end of the run they've been on with Dream Vision. They won't this time, no. Instead, it'll be a run out. Knifing to the rim, putting it up and putting it in is Alamemi Koroma. He gets that layup, and the lead is 11-5.
It's an 11-0 run now for the Dream Vision as they trailed 5-0 to start this one. Now up 11-5 with 10:44 left.
There you go. Pump and Run trying to end this drought. Feed left side. A lot of pressure defense there by Dream Vision. It's almost a turnover. Shot clock winding down, and indeed it is. It looked like a shot clock violation.
Half the players are playing, the other half are not.
Yeah, I was going to say that it took the ref. We heard the buzzer from here. It took the referees and the players a solid 5 seconds after the fact to notice that there was that shot clock violation.
Well, you can't blame them. It's hard with all the other games going on, whistles, shot clocks.
Oh, of course
sounding
not,
off. So even the players weren't quite sure which game violation went off. 30-second shot clocks here at the Gauntlet Series.
It's been almost 4 minutes since Pump and Run has had a bucket, and a personal foul is going to be called on Pump and Run, as a little bit too aggressive defense there on the part of Pump and Run.
Yeah, Jack Abu Nasser right there swarming Cedric Altman. Almost stopped him at half court as Altman goes down again. This time coming up with a steal is
Here's
Abu
a slam
Nasser.
opportunity. That was a wild shot that was misfired initially there by Pump and Run. Instead, it will be a strong finish there by Owens. And they're back within 4, 11-7. Steele as trying to dribble through a trap with Salazar, and now up the floor comes Owens. Owens drove right at the defender, but they'll call a rule of verticality, so no foul there, giving the defender his right to the area. Now Dream Vision will have another opportunity. Left wing, they skip. Thought about a three-pointer. Instead, a nice extra pass, feed, and a slam with ease by Alamemi Koroma.
Yeah, beautiful vision on display right there.
And it looked like actually Altman and Koroma bumped heads going back to their backcourt. They're both grimacing in pain. Teammates knocking skulls, trying to stay with it defensively. And they do. A swat away by Koroma. It's a 2-on-3. Lob and finish with authority by Kyree Walker from Julian Franklin.
Kyree Walker looks like he's jumping off a trampoline on his last 2 dunks in this ballgame. Skying way high, almost delaying his jump right there, hanging in the air, and then hammering it home.
Pump and run, trying to answer. Lee, what's the call? I think a foul on the floor. Or it could just be an official conference. Hold on a minute.
I think we got some blood on the forehead.
And I wonder if it is from that head collision. As we mentioned, it was
Alamami
Altman and Koroma collided skulls.
Koroma's the one with the blood on the forehead, so the official.
And they'll actually take them both out. It'll be Koroma and Altman to sit down. But you're exactly right. It was from that collision that we had talked about, where I think the blood had formed.
Almost the concussion protocol here.
Right, exactly.
At the AAU Gauntlet Series.
Never know what's going to turn up at a Gauntlet event. As Ethan Anderson controls far left side. Anderson, knife, circus shot too strong. Lee try for the board. Instead, it'll be a run out here for Dream Vision. Crockrell puts it on the deck, now lowers his shoulder. Extra bounce pass, spinning, turning, and he couldn't finish. But a second chance opportunity by Brian Washington, also no good. However, he earns himself an opportunity to get those 2 points the hard way at the charity stripe.
Yeah, Brian Washington tried to get that laid up quickly before the defense of Lee came in and contested the shot. Got his own rebound, threw another one up, but was fouled on the play. And ever since we saw Pump and Run jump out to that 5-0 lead, they scored just 2 points in the last 4.5 minutes of play as they trail at 15-7 now. First free throw is no good for Dream Vision, so still lead at 15-7. It'll stay that way as both free throws miss out of the left hand of Brian Washington II. So here comes Pump and Run back at the offensive end.
Let's see what they decide to run on their end. As Pump and Run will be led by Williams. Williams feeds inside. Tough bucket. Could not go by the big fella Ryan Pollard, but he'll have an opportunity to shoot the free ones. Pollard just checked in a few moments ago, so he's seeing his first minutes this evening. The 7-foot center rattles in that first one. Biggest player on the Pump and Run roster. One more free throw upcoming for Pollard. He sets, fires, and that one is able to rattle home. Hits it calmly. And the lead is 6, 15-9.
A low-scoring affair here. A little different, Jamie, than our first game where we saw Compton drop 38 points in that first half. Much lower scoring affair, more turnovers, more defense.
A steal attempt right there by Kyle Owens, but he could not maintain control of the basketball. Ended up on the deck and gives it right back to Dream Vision. Vision with a 6-point lead in hand. Crockrell II will control, heavily pressured there by Jalen Harris. Around a screen, Crockwell rises, fires. That one's a brick, and the rebound taken and controlled by Salazar. Johnson feeds up the way. Excuse me, the rebound taken and controlled by Harris, I should say. My apologies. But a foul was called either way on the drive by Dream Vision. It'll be in their front court, sideline left, inbound, given to Anderson. Anderson feeds over to Agbong Polo. Agbong Polo controls and hands it off right over to Owens. Or excuse me, Williams, I should say. Williams now back to Agbong Polo. Goes behind his back, trying to create separation. Almost lost it, and indeed he does. Here comes Dream Vision. Working the handles of Crockrell II. He'll slow it down a tad. Calling for it is Altman. Crockrell will get it over to him. Altman, left side, thought about a triple. Instead feeds in the corner. Over to Franklin. Franklin bounces it. Now working in the high post, spinning, turning, falling away. Could not score there was Jake Kyman. Second chance opportunity won't go. Pollard tried to get the board, and he does for pump and run. Agbunk Polo. Works right side. Agbunk Polo, knives to the rim. He can't get it to go, but he has an opportunity at 2 points the hard way upcoming at the charity stripe.
Yeah, Agbunk Polo is trying to take matters into his own hands right there. The 6'8", 180-pound point guard he's listed at. Took it to the rack there, tried to finish with left hand. Agbunk Polo ranks number 94 in the 2019 class by rivals, averaged 14.4 points, 4.5 assists, and 6.5 rebounds this season in high school, as he's looking at Arizona, USC, and UCSB as potential schools that have already gave him offers.
Agbunk Polo will have one more. He missed the free throw. Second one upcoming. That one is good.
So finally pump and run in the double digits after starting off the game 5-0. Finally hit that 10-point mark.
Took him a while to get there, and great defense, the officials will say, on that end by Jordan Williams. It'll force a turnover, much to the dismay of the Dream Vision fans in attendance.
Almost looked like Kyree Walker was grabbed by the ankles there and then dove trying to get that loose ball, went out of the bounds off his fingertips. So back in the possession of Dream Vision here with 6:10 left in the first half.
Pump and run controls. Working on the far right side with the handles there is Harris. He tried to get to the rim, but he couldn't get it to go. Let's see if they call that in the act. An impressive drive there by Harris. I believe they will, so he'll go to the line for 2 free ones with 6:04 to play.
Jake Kyman defending on that play. Didn't exactly love the call on the personal foul. That'll send pump and run to the line here.
Harris will go to the charity stripe for his first trip of the day. He already has a rebound to his credit, but yet to get in the scoring column as he'll try to make this a 4-point game. That one too strong. Second free throw up, and that one goes in. So 15-11 the score, a 4-point advantage. It now sits for Dream Vision as they'll operate on the far left side. Pass in the corner. They'll skip it over to Altman. Altman rises, fires for three. He banked it in. Hits the triple. Might not have been his initial intention when he let it go, but that's the way it went. And the lead now 7, 18-11.
Cedric Altman banking the triple home, and as soon as he made it, pointed right at his coach here on the bench with a little smile. I think both of them knew that was not intentional, but hey, a three is a three, and it's now an 18-11 lead.
And the wild part about that, though, to correct you for just a slight second, Peter, that was not his bench. He pointed directly at Pump and Run's bench when he knocked in that triple. That was smack talk on the other end. There was no communication there of friendly persuasions. That was just good old-fashioned AAU basketball smack on the end of Cedric Altman. A layup hit on the other end by Pump and Run makes this a 5-point game. As a lazy bounce pass, whether it was a lazy bounce pass or a lazy effort there by Brian Washington is up to the eye of the beholder, but either way it's a turnover, and Pump and Run finds themselves down 5. I totally see what you were saying, though. It looked like from our vantage point for a second that that's exactly what he was doing, but in fact it was just a little, now you see me, now you don't. Bank shot three there by Altman.
One of the few threes we've seen in this ballgame so far. I think that's the first for Dream Vision so far.
That one misfired right by Williams. Will it stay on this end? No, it'll be last touched by Pump and Run. So they will stay in this 5-point hole as Dream Vision will look to add to it. Kyree Walker receives it. He'll walk it up the floor. Waits for a screen. Receives it from Koroma, who now is repping what looks like a headband. It's a bandage from where he bumped heads a few moments ago with his teammate. And it'll be out of bounds again off another careless pass by Dream Vision. Pump and Run was unable to take advantage of this last possession. Let's see if they can do so now.
Pump and Run shooting just 4 of 11 from the field so far for 13 points and just over 11.5 minutes of play now.
Not taking advantage of their opportunities indeed, as they'll skip over to Williams. Williams knives to the rim, couldn't get it, got a second chance opportunity, puts it back and put him on the line. Extra effort there for Pump and Run. Excuse me, it was actually Kyle Owens on the drive there. both on his first shot and on the second chance opportunity. And now he'll have a chance to make it a three-point play with the free throw upcoming and bring the pump and run back within 2.
Kyle Owens now 4 points in the ball. You're looking for a 5th here. Nice job just finishing at the rim.
Though, but an extra chance. This time it is Williams. He'll go to the rim. He'll lay it up. So that's suddenly a 4-point possession by pump and run, and they're back within 1 point. Dream Vision clinging to that lead as we approach the 4-minute mark of this first half. Walker, knife to the rim. He drew contact, asserted himself all the way into the paint, and he'll try to earn him the hard way at the stripe. Walker, to his credit, 4 points already on the evening. Ranked number 8 in the class of 2020. He's a verbal commit to Arizona State out of Hillcrest Academy in Phoenix, Arizona. Walker, first one too strong. We'll have one more upcoming, much to the delight, I should say, of opposing guard Jordan Williams. He's been working hard as pump and run has tried their best to claw their way back into this game. Pollard will check in for pump and run, while Sheng-Chi Lee will check out. They've been alternating big men down low in that form. As Walker missed the both, put back no good, rebound skying high for it, and the extra effort there, was pump and run.
Kyle Owens is ripping that rebound away on the pair of missed free throws. I'd like to see that aggressiveness.
Exactly. That's exactly the type of energy you want to see from one of your guards, especially one of your leaders, and that time it was Ethan Anderson forcing the issue, the 6'1", 2019 point guard from Fairfax High School. He was able to earn himself some free throws, and he'll go to the charity stripe to put a couple up to try to, once again, either cut in and make this a tie ball game or give pump and run their first lead since the early goings of this half.
Yeah, if you see on the near baseline,
this is the first.
Lining up there in white, it's Alamany Corona number 4. He's got a bandage now across his forehead. We saw him leave the ball game about 6 or 7 minutes ago with blood on his head. He's back in now with a bandage.
And that's what you and I had spoke about a few moments ago. It almost looks like a headband, what he's repping there. But the way it's wrapped around, it's desperate times call for desperate measures. And in this case, you got to keep playing at an event like this.
Exactly.
Whatever it takes. Three-pointer on the far left side. It's too strong. And the rebound is taken and controlled by Karoma. He'll kick it out. Left side, 3 hit, cold-blooded by Jonathan Salazar. So the lead extended by Dream Vision, 21-18. Salazar's got 6. He is now just 1 of 2 from beyond the arc, though. Drive and take, draws contact once again for pump and run. It looked like it was Owens forcing the issue for another trip to the charity stripe.
Yeah, pump and run about to shoot their 9th and 10th free throws here in the first half. So they're being aggressive down low, trying to get to that free throw line and add to their tally. And you just got to like that, seeing that from these young guys, not afraid to go inside, battle with the big boys. And, if you miss, maybe you'll draw some contact. We don't see a ton of fouls being called at the AAU games. We like the pace of play, keep going, but I like the aggressiveness by both teams.
And it's not like that everybody on the floor right now is over 30s at the Y on a Tuesday. These are aggressive 16, 17-year-olds at full speed going ahead and putting your head down and saying, I'm going to go get a bucket.
Yeah, they sure can take a beating, these high school kids. High energy for sure.
Got to envy the durability and the quickness. No doubt about that. Feed inside. Koroma could not get it to fall. Loose ball. Who's going to scoop it up? Indeed, it'll be Anderson. Anderson lobs it up, but a little bit too high that time, intended for Agbong Polo. He thought about slamming it home, but it was just a bit out of his reach. So Dream Vision dodges one there as they'll they'll regain possession on that end. Crockle the second almost lost it off his hip on the defense by Anderson. So it'll be last touch by Ethan, and it will stay with Dream Vision. Kyman feeds over to Crockrell. Now feed left side. Kyman misfired on the triple. Rebound taken by Anderson. Ethan lobs it up. Once again, here comes pump and run. Wild shot. Able to adjust in midair was Agbong Polo. He had a defender coming and soaring in for the block, but somehow got it to go off glass, and the lead now belongs to pump and run for the first time since the early going. Kyman, he says, not so fast. Let's take the lead back for Dream Vision. Hits that jump shot.
That's Kyman's first bucket of the evening. Now 1 of 3, and he's a highly rated recruit here in attendance.
Jump shot missed far right side by Agong Polo. It'll be last off of pump and run. So Dream Vision will control. Subs back and forth for both teams. Jack Abu Nasser checked in a few moments ago for pump and run. Brian Washington the second subbing in for Koroma for Dream Vision. They control with about 1 minute and 45 seconds to go in this first half. Left side, 3 in the air. 3 is an air ball. Second chance opportunity. Kyman almost had it taken away. Gets it back. Hangs. Can't score. Rebound taken by Agong Polo. Here comes pump and run. Up the floor they go. Agong Polo knives to the rim, and he finished from coast to coast. Agong Polo gets that one to fall and lead back to pump and run. Offensive foul, taking a charge right on that end. Sliding in for it was Ethan Anderson. Offensive foul called against Dream Vision's Kyree Walker. Sometimes, even in AAU, there is such a thing as being too physical. And that time, that was Kyree Walker.
Yeah, it's one of the few offensive fouls called we've seen here tonight. But back to Max Agong Polo's coast-to-coast drive. Very skilled, and he's kind of a player that reminds me of a Giannis Antetokounmpo. He's super long, lanky, pretty thin, but very skilled with his shot and taking the ball all the way to the rack, as we just saw.
No doubt about that. Definitely showing off his full arsenal in these last couple of possessions. 1:19 to go here in the first half. 24-23 the score. A 1-point advantage for pump and run as both these teams have exchanged blows in this first half. Only time there was ever really a large lead in this ball game was when it was taken by Dream Vision on the early going. Or excuse me, when it was taken by pump and run in the early going. Since that time, though, they've kind of traded back and forth. As we stand, a much closer matchup in the first half in this game than we saw from the Compton Magic and Northwest Panther ball game, even though that did end up being an exciting one in its own right. These two teams sticking with each other, both on speed and on the scoreboard.
Yeah, Dream Vision's been doing it from the field. They're 10 of 20 from the field so far, perfect 50%. Pump and run 8 of 18, but they've gotten a lot of their points from the line. 7 of 10 from the free throw line, our pump and run. Meanwhile, Dream Vision just 1 of 5 from the charity stripe.
Anderson on a pick and pop to Agong Polo. He got separation on the dribble, and he knocked down the tray. What a move by Agong Polo. Agong Polo has shown all but the kitchen sink in the latter stages of this first half as an impressive take and finished that time by Kyree Walker. Cuts this down to a 1-point lead for pump and run. Under a minute to go first half. Anderson spinning, knifing in the lane, throws up a wild shot, tried to get his own board, and he saves it right to Agong Polo. Agong Polo matches up left side. Max looking and calling for one shot is the head coach of pump and run, but there is a shot clock. I'm not sure exactly what he was hoping for there. Agong Polo, he's stripped and he's fouled. Earning himself some free throws the hard way, much like we saw Gerard Lucas take over for the Compton Magic. It has been all Agong Polo through the last 3.5, 4 minutes for pump and run.
Yeah, Agong Polo taking matters into his own hands, draining just the second 3 of the evening for pump and run. Now he's going to head to the free throw line and try to add on as pump and run now lengthens that lead 27-25 with just 28 seconds left. So
9 points for Agong Polo, by the way.
Lead his team in the scoring department. Yeah, he's looked very impressive. As you mentioned, the latter part of this half has really come through. And just aggressive, getting to the line. Nice stroke from deep, and a couple of nice free throws right there to add on.
Yeah, give them both to him. And the lead now 3, 28-25. Shot clock now turned off. Dream Vision can hold for one shot if they wish. Pump and run coaching staff imploring them for one stop to close half number 1 here from Los Angeles. Crockrell II has other intentions. Heavily pressured. Crockrell II matches up. Feeds left side. Gives over to Salazar. Salazar almost lost the handle. Somehow didn't get his pocket pick. Feeds right side. Walker with 10. Walker will reset things. Called for a screen but didn't use it. Walker goes baseline. Feeds a wild pass. It's scooped up left side. 3 in the air. 3 misfired. And that will end the first half. A decent look there for Salazar, but it ended up being wild to the right. Bricked off the right side of the backboard, and pump and run, it was not easy, but they'll go into the halftime break with a 3-point lead in their pockets.
Yeah, after falling behind early, 15-5, Pump and Run actually opened the game up on that 5-0 run, but came through at the end here, end of the half, shooting 9 of 20 from the field. And we saw some great offensive displays. I thought early on, Kyree Walker really caught my eye. Athletic plays, some dunks at the rim that he got way up over the iron. And then we talked about it a lot, Max Agonpolo at the end there, really coming through for his team and leading Pump and Run to this halftime lead.
28-25 the score at the halftime break. Pump and Run by 3. Leading the way for each team. 10 points for Max Agonpolo of Pump and Run. Meanwhile, 6 points from Kyree Walker and a spread out affair from Dream Vision. We'll see who's able to pull out the victory when we bring you the second half. After this, you're watching the Adidas Gauntlet Series opening weekend right here on AdidasGauntlet.com. What an amount of energy. Masses of humanity at every corner of Court 5 right now. Thought about a 3, he'll take it, contested, Bunny! Drives to the rim and he threw it down!
More than Jeff. That's a man move.
That's the hoist for 3. He hit it! What a big time shot! 3 defenders and put him at the line! Oh my word! It's time to run the gauntlet. Welcome back to the Adidas Gauntlet Series. Jimmy Cook alongside Peter Gearson. Second half underway, Pump and Run leading the action 28-25 with the basketball. As Kyle Owens gives over to Ethan Anderson. With extended pressure being applied by Dream Vision. Agonpolo, after that sharp end of the first half, feeds over left side. A 3 on the left wing is misfired by Anderson, and now here comes Dream Vision. Up the floor, Walker feeds, left side, 3 rattles out for Jake Kyman. And here comes Pump and Run. Agonpolo, a laser pass, feeds into the breadbasket. Left side over there, of Eric Hannock. And now here comes Dream Vision off the misfired shot and board. Walker to the rim, he's fouled. He'll go to the line for 2 free ones.
Walker taking a big blow from Lee right there, but aggressive as he led his team with 6 points in that first half, trying to take it to the rack right there. He'll get awarded with 2 free throws. Remember, Max Agonpolo, a 6'8" point guard, really putting his talents on display here, as the first free throw is good for Walker, drawing the Dream Vision within 2 now. 28-26 Pump and Run. Minute inside this second half.
Walker sets, fires, got that one to go. So now 28-27. As Peter mentioned, Dream Vision slowly clawing their way back in. Agonpolo has other ideas though, as he controls on the left side. Didn't start as the dominant player for this Pump and Run team at the early going, but he's taken that role since. However, that time it's a turnover and it's a layup there by Jake Kyman.
Yeah, Agbonkpolo turned it over and actually lost his shoe on that play. Kyree picked it up, took it all the way home for the easy lay-in.
And that one actually gave Dream Vision the lead in the process, 29-28. Anderson will walk it up the floor. Just a minute and a half in to this first half, or excuse me, second half, I should say. Anderson feeds to Lee. Lee sees daylight to the rim, too strong on it, and the rebound taken by Dream Vision. Kyree sees the floor, feeds it up. Salazar, a little pump fake action, and he's fouled. I believe that was on the floor, however. So he'll stay on this end.
Kyree being the distributor right there, trying to find his man down below. Not sure if they're going to call it on the floor.
It's going to be in the act. He's going to the foul line like it's in the act.
Looks like they may give him a couple free throws here, yeah.
Appears they will, indeed. So Salazar will head to the charity stripe. First one upcoming is good. Makes it 30-28.
7-footer now. Ryan Pollard will check in for pump and run.
And again, as we had mentioned, both Pollard and Shang-Chi Lee continuing to alternate in and out as the big physical presence for pump and run. Agbonkpolo controls left side. He'll feed over on the far left wing to Hensick. Now Agbonkpolo off a screen from Pollard. Tried to feed him on the pick and roll. He does. Pollard knifes through, but great defense that time by Salazar. And here comes Dream Vision. Up the way. Kyree could not get it to fall. Agbonkpolo brings it up to Anderson. Anderson lays it up and in just in midair. And we're all knotted up at 30.
Yeah, Ethan Anderson flying through the air right there, finishing the left hand.
Walker,
job.
Extra pass, swatted away by Pollard instead of to call a foul, as it was a great find there. Walker able to track down Brian Washington II, and he was hacked by Pollard, so Washington will go to the charity stripe. Walker really finding his way through the lane on that drive, and even though he put his head down to get to the bucket, he was still able to find Washington through his peripheral on the cut in the lane. Knocks in both is Washington, as Brian now makes this a 2-point advantage in favor of Dream Vision with just under 13 and a half to play.
Brian Washington now up to 4 points in the ballgame, go on with a pair of boards and a pair of assists, making his presence felt here in the second half.
Anderson over to Pollard at the top of the perimeter. Feeds to Ethan. Anderson around a screen, tried to step back, feeds Pollard. Great hands there by Kyree to knock it away, but it'll stay on this end.
Yeah, Pump and Run is trying to go to their big man down below, Ryan Pollard, get him involved. 7-footer, easily the tallest guy out on the court, but so far it's been great defense by Dream Vision, especially on that last possession, getting 2 players in there to deny his layup attempt.
Agbonkpolo created space, could not knock it down. Rebound taken, almost turned home at that point by Hensick, but he was unable to get it to fall. However, that was due to contact, and he'll have an opportunity to earn it the hard way at the foul line. Hensick sets, fires. That one's good. Makes it, should be a 1-point game for Pump and Run. There it is. Scorer's table a little late on that one. One more upcoming for him. Sets, fires. And that one
missed everything.
And again, that one, the way it arced, it was hard to tell if he just hit it purely or if he missed it. And well, actually, I thought he missed it as well, but apparently that knocked it through. From our vantage point, that's an optical illusion. Apparently he drilled it, and we're all knotted up at 32. I've never seen that before.
It looks like we do have a
on the Gauntlet series.
Hole in the net there on this right.
And you're exactly right. That's
side.
exactly what it is. Kyree Walker able to hit the layup on the other end, but that's exactly what it is. There's a gaping hole in the far right side of the net, and it doesn't let the basketball go all the way through. Instead, it dips and then spits out, and it made it look like, from our vantage point, that he'd airballed it. Oh, when you think you've seen everything. Anderson far left side. lobs it up. Agong Polo that would have tore the roof off this place, and he finished that one. Instead, it'll be a turnover. Up the floor comes Dream Vision. Knifing, kick out, left side. They'll feed in the paint. Up and under, spinning and finishing is Jonathan Salazar from Cedric Altman.
Wow, what a move by Jonathan Salazar. Faked with the left hand, then spun, went around and put it up with his right hand, using his body to block out the defender and finish it home, give it a 4-point lead now.
Anderson feeds far right side, three-pointers off. Agmong Polo went up for the board, couldn't secure it, and rebound taken by Dream Vision. As Peter mentioned, it's a 4-point advantage for them with the basketball. Salazar feeds, left side, Franklin. He thought about a three, now goes around a screen. Franklin, beautiful bounce pass, but Kimura could not hold it. It'll be last off of pump and run. Staying on this end with fresh substitutions for both teams. Kyree Walker will check into the ball game for Dream Vision. Meanwhile, it's a host of pump and run players. Among them, Sheng-Shi Lee. Walker controls in between the circles. 11.5 to play in the ball game. They control a 4-point advantage. Kimura on Lee, backs up, falling away, too strong. Rebound, skying up high for it is pump and runs Ethan Anderson. Anderson up the way. A tomahawk slam idea was in mind right there by Jordan Williams, but he lost the handle on the contest by Dream Vision. They knocked it out of bounds, did Vision. So it'll stay on this end with pump and run trying to climb back from this 4-point hole.
Jordan Williams trying to make a highlight reel dunk right there. I'm not sure if he was ever going to make it. He left from well outside the key, tried to hammer one home, got knocked away, so possession back to pump and run.
Gravity is a fickle friend sometimes when you have dunk ideas in mind. But as you mentioned, pump and run, no harm done as they do still control the basketball. Harris gets around, kicks right side, three in the air for Anderson, too strong as Lee tried to get the rebound. He does. Shang-Chi Lee will reset it up at the top of the perimeter to Harris. Under 11 to play in the ball game. Down by 4. Harris working the handles, and he's going to be hand-checked, they'll say, by Julian Franklin. Much to his dismay, he didn't like the call. So it'll be a foul on, as you mentioned, Franklin, and it'll stay on this end for pump and run. Great feed, pump fake, able to get the defender on his feet was Kyle Owens. And he'll have opportunity at a free throw, and a technical foul has been called. They called a technical foul, I believe, on Jonathan Salazar. He's beside himself. He better be careful. He's going to be tossed out of the game. There were too many bodies around the play to see what Salazar said.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of conversation between players and the referees, and it's been very friendly throughout this ball game, and nothing major in the first game either. But that time, I think the refs, they've done almost 2 games now. They've had enough of any jawing or complaining. They just want to play some basketball.
First free throw misfired there. Excuse me, both free throws were actually misfired by Kyle Owens. And I guess it's the technical free throws and then the dead ball free throws. But three free throws have been missed by pump and run.
Make it 4. Make it 5.
And the ball don't lie chant is out and about to the parent to the right of us.
And that was Salazar, the leading scorer for Dream Vision, who picked up that technical. He'll take a breather on the bench now.
You got to enjoy, whether it's parents, whether it's players, whether it's coaches, the amount of dedication and smack talk that is exchanged back and forth between all parties involved. It would not be an AAU event without it. Anderson, left side. Feeds over to Williams. Williams now to Lee. Lee backing in, going to work, spinning, turning. What a move, and he finished it. Went right at Kimura with a little shimmy on the shoulder and hit the fall-away jump shot.
Yeah, nice move by the big man there.
Kick out, ball movement over to Kyman. Kyman rises, nice feed, and stripped on the way up. It looked like was Kyree Walker, but he was fouled, so he'll have an opportunity for 2 free ones.
Yeah, we're hearing a few more whistles here in this second half, and the referees Trying to maybe calm it down a little bit. I mean, there's nothing unsportsmanlike going on out there, just some physical play, and they're starting to call a little bit more than we saw in the first half in the first game.
You can give leeway to players from the onset of one of these AAU events, but eventually if things start to get out of hand, that's the end result to calm things down. If you're an official, is start to focus more on calls you might let play on otherwise. Walker, one more free throw, sets, fires, gets that one to go. And he makes it 38-34 in favor of Dream Vision. Pump and run. With 10 minutes to go, looks like they might get a timeout after this possession. And indeed, that's exactly what they get. Just before the start of this possession, I should have said. So a timeout taken by Pump and Run. They find themselves in a 4-point hole. Dream Vision still hanging on to that advantage with 10:02 to go. Here in the ball game, we'll take a break as well. 38-34, Dream Vision. Stay with us. You're watching Adidas Gauntlet basketball right here on AdidasGauntlet.com. Welcome back inside Momentous Sports Center. Jimmy Cook alongside Peter Gearson. 10:02 to play in the second game of our opening day of Adidas Gauntlet basketball here in Los Angeles. Pump and Run controls the basketball, down by 4 to Dream Vision. Pump and Run controls. It's Jalen Harris on the far left side, just past the volleyball line. As Lee tried to screen, but through all that chaos, it's a steal by Dream Vision. Walker looking for some assistance. Instead, he'll try to put his head down, kicks it out, left side three in the air, three through the bottom of the net. Pierre Crockwell II hits that triple, and the lead's up to 7. Largest it's been since the first half for Dream Vision.
Yeah, what a find by Kyree Walker right there. Finding Crockwell in the corner, he sinks the triple.
Anderson knifes and put him on the line, able to hit it off glass and in. A much-needed bucket by Pump and Run as Ethan Anderson just said, I'm going to put my head down and go get one, and maybe have an opportunity for one more as well. Anderson, I mentioned at a Fairfax High School in Los Angeles, California, has offers from Colorado and Denver at the moment. That list, as the Gauntlet Series continue, you can expect will grow, as the young man only a member of the 2019 class, so he still has all this summer to continue to build his resume.
A 16-8 run for Dream Vision here in the second half. That's part of the reason why they're up by 5 now.
Misfiring on the free throw was Pump and Run, but they could not gather the rebound, and it'll stay on this end for Pump and Run. A lot of frustration here on Dream Vision on all ends.
The coach is out on the floor.
The lead is 5 as they'll give it over to Agbonkpolo. Agbonkpolo around a screen from Lee. Agbonkpolo won't utilize it. Instead, he'll bring it back out. Harris calling for it with 9:05 to play in the ballgame. Harris around a screen from Lee. Couldn't find him on the roll. Instead, he'll put his head down. Drive to the rim. Too strong. Rebound somehow gained by Harris. He threw it up and almost turned it home, but he'll go to the line for 2 free ones. Somehow he almost turned that into an old-fashioned three-point play, and arguably Harris never should have gotten the rebound to begin with. There were 3 Dream Vision players all around it. They all stared at it, and Harris says, yeah, that's mine.
Harris stands just 6'1" amongst the trees down there. Somehow got the rebound and put it up with one hand while the other one was being held by the defender, but he'll get awarded with a couple free throws here.
Harris, the high archer, gets a friendly rim. He'll have one more as they're back within 4. 41-37, under 9 to go in the ballgame. Harris puts it up and gets it to go. 41-38.
And it's really been a close battle throughout. We'll see in the final 8:45 left who's going to come out on top.
A steal by Pump and Run. Harris up the floor. He sees Owens, feeds him. Owens hesitates, goes up strong and gets it to go. It's a 1-point game.
Great pump fake there by Owens, getting his defender in there and then finishing, and great vision by Harris to get him the ball down low.
Cockrell the second. Crazy pass. It's stolen by Pump and Run. They've got number with a hold on the feed inside to Lee. So we'll stay on this end. 47-40 and sub at the table. Leaving is Franklin, and Jake Kyman will check in. Franklin checks out with 2 points and 4 assists to his credit. Agbonkpolo receives it and finishes on the far right side from beyond the arc. Agbonkpolo knocks in the triple. He's got 13 to lead the way for Pump and Run. And they've cut the deficit down now to 4.
That's Pump and Run's just second 3 of the night, 2 of 12.
An incredible bounce pass feed leading his man on the end for Pierre Crockle, I should say. However, a little too much on it, and it took an extra second for a gather attempt by Walker, or excuse me, by Salazar. That gave Pump and Run that extra moment they needed to alter the shot and create a turnover. As we just saw, almost a throwaway there, but it's knocked out of bounds by Dream Vision. There's no harm done for Pump and Run. They'll continue to maintain possession as we're under 6 minutes to go. Pump and Run down by 4. Anderson skating through the defense. Misfired a pass wildly, and it'll, what will they say, it's tipped? Let's see. No, indeed it was a wild pass, so it'll go to Dream Vision with a 4-point lead in hand.
Yeah, a little bit of a wild drive by Ethan Anderson right there, trying to find Agbonkpolo, who's been the only guy on this Pump and Run team that's been able to make a 3 so far. 2 threes for Agbonkpolo out of the 12 shot by Pump and Run.
Crockrell find a cutting Walker, but great defense, and now it's a run out by Pump and Run. Extra pass, great effort. Was it kicked by Agbonkpolo? Indeed it was.
It was.
Great defensive effort there by Dream Vision, and now they're going to look to catch everybody napping. It's a long baseball pass to Komura, and Lee tried to knock it off. Karoma, I should say. However, it instead went off his hip.
It was actually a nice job by Lee there. He didn't even see the basketball, just put both hands up.
It's like an NFL corner that's been beat. You just put your hands up and hope that.
Exactly.
Hope you're not getting put on a poster.
And it worked out. Got his team back on the defensive end.
Exactly. They get a
Stop
fresh chance
basket.
to reset. You're exactly right. Walker drives. Knife swatted away initially, but they will call a foul. Agbonkpolo trying to make a highlight play. Couldn't get it done. So it'll be a personal foul on Agbonkpolo. Sub at the table. Checking into the ball game is Jordan Williams. And Jalen Harris will check out. First free throw made by Walker. He'll have one more. 48-43. Dream Vision with 5:30 to go in this one.
Kyree Walker just showing a ton of athleticism and really putting on a show as he misses that free throw. The old broadcaster's jinx.
Exactly, but Koroma able to make a second chance opportunity at it. Bodies everywhere, jump ball tie up. Where's the arrow? It'll stay on this end. So extra effort there. Winning the 50-50 ball was Dream Vision.
Walker now 15 points in the ballgame after making 1 out of 2 from the free throw line, and his team will have another chance here to add to their lead. 48-43. Dream Vision in front with 5:22 left, and I have a feeling, Jamie, this one's going to go down to the wire. A little different from the last game we had, but it's been close throughout. No one's been able to really stretch the lead out.
And this is a good opportunity for Dream Vision as there is some moisture on the floor, so they'll try to get that adjusted and squared away with the old sneaker routine. But as you mentioned, Peter, this is an interesting juncture of the game. Under 5.5 to go. A 5-point lead in hand for Dream Vision with the basketball. A turnover, or a missed shot, or an opportunity for Pump and Run to go get another bucket. Still keeps us a close game, but a triple or another bucket, the further we get into this ball game where there's plays like that where Dream Vision are winning the 50-50 balls, the more likely it is they're going to pull out a W. Crockrell the second gets it back from Kyman after rebounding the basketball. And he'll control left side, matched up by Agbonkpolo. Walker hit the deck on the far right side, unsure if that was contact or not. Crockrell control, he'll feed to Koroma. Koroma, a little razzle-dazzle, misfired. A rebound taken by Walker, but now it's stripped away by Pump and Run, and a foul is called as looked like Kyman accidentally had an elbow extended. It hit Anderson right below the jawline. A little shaken up. Unsure if he's okay or not. Looks like he's okay, just needs a second to walk it off. So under 5 to go here. More moisture on the floor, it appears.
And finally, some stoppages in this fast-paced game allows us a chance to catch our breath. These guys are tough.
One-on-one opportunities actually on the line, indeed. As the last foul, it looked like the officials had held up one-on-one opportunity, and indeed that is what's going to happen. Anderson will go to the stripe, and surprisingly enough, Pump and Run electing to not have anybody. They were initially having nobody down in the blocks to try to get a rebound, as this is a one-on-one opportunity, and that's exactly what they did. Didn't matter, I guess, as Anderson hits it Conway. I've never seen in a one-on-one opportunity that wasn't garbage time, leaving the lanes empty like that.
An interesting call there, I think.
Confidence in Anderson, maybe? I'm not.
Confidence or just straight up tiredness, you know?
One of the two. One of the two, no doubt. Anderson, second one. That one he misfired when people were in the lane, of course. And the lead now is snipped away a little bit, down to 4, 48-44. Crocker the second, far right side. Feeds over to Walker. Walker, little jab step. Excuse me, now Salazar. Salazar back to Kyman. Kyman, 3 in the air. Is it a three-pointer through the bottom of the net? Might have been a 2. I think it was actually a 2 on the line. So it'll only be a 6-point lead on the 2-point basket, a long 2 at that by Kyman. As Pump and Run looks to answer. Agbong Polo rises mid-range, too strong. Rebound taken by Salazar. Jonathan sees the floor, works, feeds, right side, another long 2-pointer. Toeing the line, but the shot hit by Crockle the second, and it's now an 8-point game. Up the floor, Lee decided to bring it back out. He could have gone for a layup if he wanted. Instead feeds Anderson. He'll fire up a long one. That is too strong, and the rebound captured and controlled by Crockle the second. Some questionable possessions the last 2 times down by Pump and Run, and it's led to 2 straight buckets for Dream Vision. Their lead is 8, looking to extend it a little bit further as Crockle the second controls far right side. Into Salazar. Salazar backing in, works, throws it up, too strong. Rebound captured by Karoma. Now to Kyman. Back to Salazar in the paint. He couldn't hold on to the basketball, and that'll be a turnover to Pump and Run. Missed opportunity there by Dream Vision. Pump and Run will be thankful for that, though, and look to further chip away at this lead as we approach the 3.5 mark remaining in this ball game.
Yeah, big second half here by Dream Vision, outscoring Pump and Run by 11 points. 3's in the half. Their game high 8-point lead here with 3:25 left.
Polo rises and fires. It was a much needed triple, and Pump and Run quickly calls a timeout to draw up a better defensive set as that triple cuts the lead to 5, 52-47.
Agbon Polo showing that range. As I mentioned before, he's the only player on Pump and Run that had a 3-pointer in the ball game, and he just made his 3rd of the night. As now Pump and Run's just 3 of 14 as a team, but give all 3 of those to Agbon Polo as they cut the lead down to 5.
52-47 the score, a 5-point advantage for Dream Vision. You got to think that in this timeout huddle, the Pump and Run coaching staff going over a better defensive set to try to combat the attack that Dream Vision has put on in this second half.
Yeah, I mean, you've seen Dream Vision kind of get their way throughout the second half, outscoring their opponents by 8. And yeah, I think the head coach here for Pump and Run, after that 3, immediately went over to the referee and called that timeout with under 3.5 minutes to play. They're going to want to see if they can stop ball a little bit and not allow those inside buckets that Dream Vision has continued to get here. Dream Vision, though, on the other hand, wants those inside looks as more blood coming out of the head of Alamani Corona on that bandage.
Yeah, Karoma unable to go ahead and a bandage not doing its best job. He's still playing through as the officials haven't seen it. Far left side they roll. Give over to Crockle the second. Feeds Salazar. Back to Crockle the second. Thought about a 3-pointer. Little jab step will bring it back out. Under 3 minutes to play. Crockle the second. Feeds inside. Karoma met at the rim by both Lee and Williams. And one of them will pick up that personal. It'll be Williams. And it'll send Karoma, blood bandage and all, to the charity stripe to try to extend this lead to 6, maybe even 7, with under 3 to go.
Yeah, Karoma looks like a warrior out there. I mean, just bullying and bruising down below with the big man. Gets fouled, looks unscathed from it, and just makes that free throw.
Rattled it home. It bounced out. Thought about jumping off the rim and then said, I'll settle in for a make here. Friendly rims indeed on that last one, and the second one pure for Karoma. 7-point advantage, 54-47. Pump and run, trying to get back into this ball game with less than 3 minutes left to go here in the opening stages of the Gauntlet series. A foul away from the basketball called on Salazar.
He has a collection of teammates go over him and try to calm him down. Salazar already picked up a technical earlier.
Exactly why that happened.
His teammates wisely trying to keep him calm as Salazar is the second leading scorer for Dream Vision with 9 points. Didn't like that call, but keeps his cool here. It'll send Agbonk Polo, though, to the line.
Yeah, unfortunately, well in the bonus is Dream Vision. So free throws upcoming. Another one-on-one opportunity, though. It's missed by Agbonk Polo, and Salazar gets the board. Can't rally back into games if you can't hit the free ones. As the lead sits at 7, and now suddenly Pump and Run desperately needs a stop. Anderson all up in the airspace of Crockle the second. Trying to get free as Crockle. Hand over to Kyree Walker. Sees daylight. Walker knifes to the rim. Forced the issue, and he's fouled. So he'll go to the line for 2 free ones. Looked like Walker was a little out of control there, but the Pump and Run defenders out of position as well. So we'll see free throws for Walker.
Kyree Walker leading his team, Dream Vision, with 15 points, and has had aggressiveness that's got onto the line now 7 times. He'll be shooting free throws 8 and 9, made 5 of them so far out of his 7 attempts. Just a very athletic player who is relentless on the offensive end and really making a name for himself here at the Gauntlet series.
So Walker will step away from the foul line for a second as a little bit of moisture being cleaned up once again by the officials.
Bobby Hurley also in attendance here. Arizona State head coach, sitting right next to USC's head coach, Andy Enfield.
Rightfully so, especially given the fact that he does have that verbal commit from Kyree Walker. So very fitting and good eye there, Peter. Never know who you're going to see coaching-wise at the Gauntlet series. You can expect that list of coaches to grow and grow as the action continues to unfold over the course of the weekend and into Atlanta next weekend as well.
Yeah, there's about 7 or 8, maybe even 9 other games going on, but clearly majority of the crowd are focused on this court.
Court 10 is the place to be, the marquee court here in Los Angeles.
Fans, coaches, parents, cameramen, everything. Content creators.
Galore, exactly. As Walker, it took them about 6.5 minutes, more than that actually. It took them 2 halves of basketball, both the officials and the players here, to realize that we could use a towel instead of our shoes to wipe the floor. That expedited the process somehow. And now Walker will go to the charity stripe. First free throw up, no good. He'll have one more.
It may have been too long of a break for Walker there, lost his rhythm a little
Iced
bit.
himself, could be.
After all that toweling up of sweat.
He'll have one more to try to make this an 8-point advantage for Dream Vision. That one rattles in. Took a couple bounces and dropped for him. So the lead is 8, 55-47 with 2:20 to play. Pump and run, in need of a run desperately. Anderson working the crossover, almost lost his handle, and he got it back somehow. Skips over to Agbonk Polo. Agbonk Polo on Walker, puts it on the deck, Euros up, and got it to fall. Somehow extended himself with the pivot foot, and now the lead down to 6 with 2:03 to play.
Wow, Agbonk Polo, smart player, getting his defender in there, as you mentioned, extending after the pivot foot and finishing with the left hand.
18 points for him. Walker skips. Kyman thought about a 3. Extra pass around the waist of the defender, but it's a turnover. Pump and run being implored to push by their coaching staff. Up the floor goes Agbonk Polo, and he'll reset over to Anderson with 1:40 to play. 6-point deficit. Anderson sizing up on Crockrell. Goes around the defenders. It falls in the hands of Lee, and now it's fought for, and who's the foul going to be on? Is it on Salazar? It is, and he cannot believe it. Jonathan Salazar, the wrong end of that loose ball foul. It'll lead to free throws, still 1-1 territory.
Yeah, it really could have gone either way. Salazar fighting down there with Kyle Owens.
He can't believe it. The face, I don't think we got a shot of it. His face when he had the ball in his hand was like, come on now. And unfortunately, it's been one of those nights where the calls have not gone his way. Stray ball came onto the floor, so it'll stop things for a second, and it'll allow Kyle Owens to reset himself. Owens holds it off from the UCSB Santa Barbara Gauchos to his credit right now. His first free throw's up, and his first free throw is good.
Jonathan Salazar, although he's picked up that technical foul, been on the wrong side of a couple calls. Impressive athlete out there, 6'7" forward, 2019 graduate. I think he's really shown some of his prowess on both sides of the floor tonight.
Owens makes both free throws to make it a 4-point game with 1:28 to go. And to be clear, we both are aware of this, but just to focus at home now, Salazar hasn't really done anything that's been totally out of hand. The technical was just, I think, a communication issue between him and the officials. We're not sure what was said early in that first half. Here comes Dream Vision. They have numbers. Kyree to the rim. He misfired, but a finish strong by Brian Washington the second to clean up the glass. And a lead of 6 with 1:17 to play. In a trap. They're in a trap. Agron Polo almost lost the basketball. Has to get rid of it. They might need to call a timeout. He bounced it somehow. Walking the tightrope there. Gets in the corner. 3 in the air. Too strong. Lee the rebound. And what's he going to do with it? Lee to the rim. Puts it up and put him on the line. Shang-Chi Lee making his presence felt down low. The first real big post move we've seen from him this evening. Down that far low. He had a couple nice jump shots as well, utilizing a little shoulder shimmy. But that time, knowing his team needed a bucket, puts it up, puts it in, and an old-fashioned three-point play opportunity to try to make this a three-point game.
Yeah, great job by Shane-Z Lee. You mentioned we saw him with a couple nice little moves farther away from the basket. That time, though, just used his size and strength to get that one home, finishing with the contact and drawing his team within just 3 now.
Lee hits the free throw. As Peter mentioned, 3-point game. Salazar to Walker. Let's see what he wants to do. He'll reset to Salazar. Salazar skips it over to Crockwell. Crockwell, Kyman, 3 in the air. He hit it. Cold-blooded triple on the far left side by Jake Kyman. The lead back up to 6 with under 40 seconds left to go in this one.
Kyman's first 3 of the night, and it couldn't have come at a bigger time.
Polo, the answer, he does, rattles it home in a timeout, pump and run. Just when you thought it might be Dream Vision pulling away, Agbonk Polo stepping up when you need it most, hits in the left corner.
Yeah, Max Agbonk Polo, 21 points in the ball game now. Team high, and man, this guy's putting on a display. Corner threes, top of the key threes, driving home with the left hand. This guy's been impressive right in front of the coaches there in attendance. So far, we got a 3-point game, 35.5 seconds left.
And again, as we had mentioned, and as you had pointed out, he really didn't take that leading role when this game started. It was kind of deciding who was going to be the focal point, who was going to really take over primary ball handling duties. He split that with Ethan Anderson tonight, but you're exactly right, Peter. He's really made his presence felt, especially in the back ends of both halves.
Every time looks like Dream Vision is going to pull away. Jake Kyman making his first 3 of the night, right coming back, his pump and run, somehow finding a way to stay in this ballgame. 35.5 seconds left. We'll see out of the timeout what Dream Vision is going to do to try to extend this lead. I imagine they're drawing up a play right here. Have the big man out there in Lee to join Salazar and the rest of the crew.
And indeed it will be, as you mentioned, Lee will come out there on the defensive end. Good eye there, Peter. Elsewhere, it'll be Harris and Owens along with Anderson and Agbonk Polo defensively for pump and run. Kyman has to get it in. He does to Walker. They don't have to foul. Walker up the floor, almost turn it over. Now to Salazar. Salazar with a lob, and the slam by Karoma makes it a 5-point game. Under 30 seconds to go. Harris gives to Lee. Lee feeds over to Anderson. Anderson thought about a triple. Instead, he'll try to drive. Gives to Lee. Lee, power dribble, and he's fouled.
Great job by Lee
with
there.
15 seconds to go.
Smart play, just trying to draw the contact, be safe with the ball, keep it in his hands, and then get to the rim. We've seen him knock down free throws so far, and it stops the clock right here. 15.2 now left in the ball game.
9 points for Lee tonight. He's been an efficient 4 of 7 from the field, 1 for 1 on the evening from the charity stripe. First one up, first one pure, a high arcing free throw shot by the big men. It's looked like it might be short each time, but it's had enough arc on it where it's nothing but nylon.
It's a nice looking stroke by the big man too. 6'11", standing in there.
Sets, fires, rattles that one in. So it makes it a 1-possession game, 15.2 to play. Shot clock turned off. Into a trap. Walker is initially fouled. They'll credit the personal.
Yeah, the first time we've
Looks
seen
like on Agbonk Polo.
First time we've seen full court pressure, of course, being put on by pump and run. Makes me think maybe if they put that on a little bit earlier, and they can get more stops. Is not quite in the bonus yet.
And not only that, but that's exactly, sorry. I was waiting for you to hit on that point. Exactly, and you given the pressure a little bit earlier, as it was almost a steal, but they called Harris on the hold. So now it'll lead to a one-on-one opportunity. That was almost a turnover.
It's like,
it looked like initially it was knocked away by Agbong Polo, but Harris was holding the hand of Walker. So it leads to that personal, and it sounded like either the official was calling for a one-and-one or he was calling the foul on number 11. Hard to say which way he was going. Either way, 13.8 to go. It's a 3-point advantage for Dream Vision. Pump and Run desperately searching for a turnover, assuming again the official was just signaling it was a foul on number 11 and not that it was a one-on-one opportunity.
Yeah, Dream Vision so far 12 of 19 from the free throw line in the ball game tonight, and all Pump and Run can hope now if they commit the foul that Dream Vision misses a couple of free throws, but just 13.8 left. Let's see out of the timeout here if they put on that full court pressure once again.
Indeed, I think it was going to be just a foul on number 11, not a one-on-one opportunity.
So it'll be Salazar taking it out.
Let's see what Salazar has to offer in this end. He feeds to Walker, almost turns it over. Walker in trouble, and he's fouled. He'll go to the charity stripe for 2 free ones.
Pump and Run had Walker cornered right there. And honestly, I feel like they could have not committed the foul. Maybe have forced him to pass it away or turn it over, but either way, the whistle was blown. So it'll be 2 free throws for Kyree Walker, the leading scorer for Dream Vision here tonight. So far from the charity stripe, 6 of 9. As he'll have a couple of big shots here, just 11.1 on the clock now. His team, Dream Vision, leading it by 3. The first one is no good. Here comes Agbong Polo inside of 10 seconds. Agbong Polo driving right, taking it. He has a 3. It's up, and it's good.
It did rattle in. It was another one of those triples where it didn't look like it went through the right side of the net. But indeed, that's exactly what happened.
I can say anything or I respond to y'all. Okay.
As that triple is knocked in by Pump and Run, Ving Rames joins us.
Hey, what's up? Arby's, we have the meat. Hey, this is a great game. It's 62-62 going into 3 minutes of overtime. You got Dream Vision and you got Pump and Run, and a little history about this. Ethan Anderson and Max played for Dream Vision, Max for 3 years and Ethan for 2 years.
Really?
So there's a little bit of a rivalry, and Max just hit a 3-point shot to tie up the game. So, hey, this is special. This is basketball at its finest.
And it's from my understanding, Ving, that you have especially a further close-knit understanding and passion for Dream Vision and AAU basketball as a whole.
Well, yeah, a couple of things. Well, one, my son plays 15U for Dream Vision.
Okay.
Going to Brentwood High with Moose Bailey coaching. So, but also I like the fact that Dream Vision not only focuses on basketball. We've had 77 of 81 kids go D1. The others went D2 and majored in like math and science, what have you. So we are into cultivating young men, and we use basketball as a tool.
And that's one of the most beautiful things about AAU basketball is when it's not only helping players get where they want to go on the court, but also off the court as well.
Well, yeah, I agree totally. And myself being an actor, you know, the percentages of being a successful actor are pretty slim. I believe in training and good programs. I graduated from the Juilliard School, and these kids being part of the Adidas Gauntlet, it's a A1 class organization, and the competition is great.
Right, exactly. Right up there with the prestigious of Juilliard, except in this case in basketball, you're exactly right. The platform that's available to these kids is outstanding. As we are headed to overtime on that triple made by Max Agbong Polo. Let's see what Pump and Run's able to get started with the first possession of overtime. 3 minutes in OT. If it goes to a second overtime, it'll just be 2 minutes for each following overtime. 1 timeout on each side.
Hey, and I'm going to sound off. God bless everyone.
Ving, thank you so much for being here. Really appreciate it. 62-62 the score, as that first shot was misfired and taken by pump and run, so Dream Vision will have an opportunity to strike first blood here in the overtime session. Right side, controlling, 3 in the air, 3 through the bottom of the net, cold-blooded by Pierre Crockle II. He's able to make this a 3-point advantage for Dream Vision. Let's see if there's an answer out of pump and run. Anderson controls on the far left side. He had 9 points in regulation. Now Owens. Owens skips it in. They give over to Lee. Lee turning, fading, could not get it to go, and the rebound taking a big board that time by Kyman. Kyman controls, they feed inside. Karoma slams it home. An aggressive take for him, and the lead now 5. It's been all Dream Vision here in the overtime session. Does pump and run have anything left? Anderson, left side to the rim, could not turn it home, but he earns himself an opportunity for 2 points the old-fashioned way at the charity stripe. And the clock still running through this point in time, as it is running clock as well. And I'm not sure if pump and run realizes it. First free throw up, no good. And again, due to time constraints, it was initially running clock. I'm not sure what's happened here, as it is an issue rule-wise. The Gauntlet Series format runs itself as overtime session being 3 minutes. It doesn't specifically list anything about running clock being featured, but that did appear like it was the case early on. I don't know if that was confusion on the part of the scorer's table, and indeed that it is. So in the official documents of Adidas Gauntlet Series, it doesn't specifically list that there will be running clock, but indeed that's the case here in overtime. So splitting the pair, there was Anderson, and the lead is 4. 67-63, wild pass, almost turned over by Dream Vision, but they're able to gather it back. Crockle the second, pressured by Owens, feeds over to Salazar, and Salazar is fouled. He'll go to the charity stripe to try to ice this one away.
Take your time, Jonathan.
And with the running clock, that will all but do it. So running clock in play, it appears. As buzzer sounds, and that'll do it. So one of the more bizarre overtimes that you're going to experience today at AAU basketball. The rules show on paper that the rules don't say anything about running clock in overtime on the official documents that Adidas runs with, but apparently
that was the rule
that
tonight.
was the rule tonight. So running clock into effect, and pump and run will drop a heartbreaker, 67-63 to Dream Vision, and an impressive performance all around from Dream Vision. Very balanced play from start to finish.
Yeah, I mean, even though pump and run comes up on the short side tonight, it's a great showing of talent by both teams. That's what we're all here for, to showcase talent, to get better, and I think both teams can take that from this game. A couple of guys that really stood out. Of course, Kyree Walker on one side.
Led the way with 16 points.
Yep, and for pump and run, can't say enough about Max Ogbong Polo, who's the guy, the only reason we went to overtime is because his last second 3 went through that weird hole in the back of the net. But yeah, Max Ogbong Polo right in front of a bunch of Division I coaches, making his name be heard and felt as we're just about to get set for another game. We'll jump right in it right here.
Yeah, exactly.
At the Gauntlet Series.
It'll be no time for warm-ups anymore, as the final in that last one was 67-53, and now we are going to have warm-ups, I guess. I don't know what. So there will be warm-up lines after everybody was all set to jump up for a tip. Warm-up lines will happen, and we'll take a break as well to gather ourselves and get our final matchup of the day squared away.
Final score of the last one, Dream Vision 67, pump and run 63.
We'll be back with the nightcap of day one of Adidas Gauntlet Series with the NY Knicks taking on EBO. We'll have that right after this. You're watching the Gauntlet series on AdidasGauntlet.com.